Sometimes you want to evaluate your AI application quality, but you don't have a dataset at hand with examples, nor you have a definition of what a correct answer looks like. It might be that your problem has inherently not a right answer. For example, let's say we are developing a coaching bot for leadership. Leadership at a company may ask any question whatsoever. The goal of the bot is to guide them through it, not exactly to give them the final answer. So how can you evaluate something like that? Let's start by clicking on New Evaluation. I'll then choose Offline Evaluation to evaluate the quality of my LLM application. Since I don't have a dataset yet, I'm going to create a new one with AI. Here, I can simply explain my problem and ask it to come up with some examples so we get it off the ground. For example, I'm building a leadership coaching assistant. Please generate 10 sample questions that leadership at a company may ask to an executive coach. Let's generate those sample questions. Let's then click Next, and as a next step, I will add my prompt here. It's a very simple prompt, but enough to get us started. Now click Next, and then I decide on what I want to evaluate. Now, you might not have the expected answers that you want from this AI coach, but I bet you do have some quality aspects that you need to maintain. For example, one of the very important rules of coaching is avoiding leading questions. You shouldn't guide the person being coached with your own opinions and biases. So although we cannot use an expected answer evaluation, we can use an LLM as a judge to check if the generated output is a leading question. We have several options for LLM as a judge. Let's go with the simplest one, the Boolean evaluator. This is an LLM as a judge that simply replies with true or false given a criteria. On the evaluator settings, we can write our criteria. So let's replace the LLM as a judge prompt with "You are evaluating an AI agent leadership coach. Please check if the output generated is not a leading question or answer. Return true if valid coaching answer, or false, which means the evaluator failed, if it is a leading question. We can then click Next to run our evaluations. Let's give it a name. AI Coach Leading Questions Evaluation. We can then click Run Evaluation and see how our prompt goes. And we got our results, 75%. Not bad, but you can see that there were some leading questions here. On the rightmost column, you can see the rationale behind the LLM as a judge verdict. For example, the bot replied with, "Which of those strategies resonate most with you and where do you think you could start making improvement?" This is a leading question because it prompts the user to focus on the provided strategies instead of thinking more broadly. That's good. Our LLM as a judge seems to be working super well. We can test for this problem even more strongly to really challenge our AI coach by, for example, going back to the dataset and ask the AI data generation to generate hard examples. For example, generate 5 more examples where the user really tries to get a leading answer out of the AI coach. It now gave us 5 new rows with more challenging questions. We can go back to the results page and run our evaluation again. Seems like those questions are not a problem for our AI coach. But I hope in this video you could see how can we create a new dataset from scratch with the help of AI to test our application, and how can we evaluate for quality using an LLM as a judge when we don't have an expected answer. Take a look on the other pages in our documentation for more use cases on LLM evaluation. See ya!